So our back bedroom to the right. Here is before. There's a Murphy bed there. And
Wow!
Berber carpet. Yeah. Just you wait. And carpet pulled, padding pulled, baseboards pulled, jacked up tomorrow. Yeah, it's 9 o'clock p.m. and I'm starting to paint. Painting done. I know, lighting in here sucks. But it's 9:30 p.m. and time for a shower. The tools you're going to use to remove the tack strip. A nice long crowbar and a large heavy hammer. And that's going to be fun. Make sure you get all the nails. Okay, we now have our tack strip all pulled up everywhere. Double check, make sure all the tacks are up. And walls and painted. Baseboards will come last. Let's have to take a vacuum shop back and clean everywhere thoroughly. It's actually putting down. Hey Peanut, we're putting down under this stuff, standard underlayment from TrafficMaster. We'll be putting that down. Land on top of that. And then when we're all done, and then we'll put in the baseboards. Here's the last look before we start. Last look before we start. The tools you're going to need to put down the underlayment. Basically, your tape and a razor knife. Make sure you have an empty trash can stand by. You're going to need it. You probably already dumped it. It's full of tack strip. However, you want to get a couple of strips of your laminate. As you unroll the underlayment, it's going to curl up. So just put one plank at the end. One plank at that end. Cut it. This model has this on the outside double face tape. After you cut the length, this whole sheet, go back, peel this off, and then we'll stick the concrete. Make sure you stick it once, but it ain't on the opposite side, only the one side. Okay, our first row of underlayment is down. Try to get to the edge as best you can, but don't freak out if you're in front of it. The tape isn't very sticky. All the more reason why you want to clean the surface really well. Before we go on with another layer of underlayment, everyone's different. Personally, I like to put down laminate up to this level, and then lay more underlayment. Go from there. I don't like to totally underlay the whole floor. Just kind of do as I go. Now let's begin. This kind of might look. Basically, yes, it snaps into a groove. I'm going to start with this side. Will be toward my wall. And I'll be attaching everything to this side.
Wow!
And it goes kind of like this. Take your wood, come up at an angle, like so. Flip it up, lock it into place. I'll show you one floor. At this point, I can't show you the sideways. I'm putting down one first. We'll come back and do the other. We're staggered. This means cut in half. Okay? The half will be there. So it'll be a half, full one, half, full one, half, and so on and so forth. She basically steps into place. place. Make sure you're straight. You feel that this is raised up. That's right. This is raised up from there. Make sure you take your hammer, your rubber mallet, and beat it. If you get enough, she will be flush. Get this end nice and straight. And there you go. Now snaps in place. As snaps in place, they pull each other. They pull each other in. This board pulls out forward in. Okay, forward in. When I started, I'm about that far from here. I had an inch. As you see, if you've done this right, smooth. If you don't beat it enough so it meshes nice and smooth, and even here, you can have big issues going down. Now we're at the end. Now we're ready to cut. Make sure that when you cut, you know which end you're cutting off. You can't start from just any end. That is your inside lip outside. So when you measure, basically measuring this end. Okay. That end, you're cutting somewhere around here. Okay. And you'll be discarding this end. So that's up to the measurements. You measure from here to wherever. You want to measure from here to wherever. Basically from here to the end of the wall. Okay, you're going to need yourself a nice chop saw. Okay, that's most of your cutting there. When you go around corners and whatnot, you're going to need a little jigsaw. And eventually, at the end, you're going to need your table saw. You're going to need it. Long straight cuts. Okay, here's our first plank we're cutting. This is going to be at the end of that row, our first row. Okay, we're cutting 34.5 inches down here. Notice the part we're cutting off. It's going to go under the opposite wall that we started from, right here. And that is why we allow for about 10% for waste. So when you're picking up your packages of laminate, figuring out your square footage, give yourself at least an extra 10%. Buy a little bit more, because you always have some amount of waste. Okay, with that last piece we cut, the first piece we cut, which goes to the last row, we finished our first row of laminate. Now right here, basically you're gonna grab another piece, find your halfway mark, which is like 26 inches or so, cut it, and after we put in this piece, our short piece, we'll take long pieces and finish up all the way down. And then have another small piece to cut down there. Okay, 25.5 inches is our halfway point. I cannot stress this enough. You want to measure once, twice, 3 times. Whatever it takes, but cut once. Know what side you're cutting, what side you're keeping. Now, if you decide to cut, you're not mating anything to that. So this side has to go to a wall. Okay? This side is going to mate to something. So in this case, I couldn't put this down and snap it in place because there's nothing over there. So this has to go to the wall. Okay? Then you can snap for the planks down there. And there you go. This slip is toward me. So there we go. Make sure you're even down there. Very important. And after you make sure you are even on the top edge, okay, now you want to hammer down. It is. Goes down the way. Now, the next planks is a little easier. Look, we have a bone snap. That's a problem. We can fix it. Have to gently tap on one edge or the other, and get that aligned properly. Be very gentle. These edges don't like to be tapped. Suggestion, get yourself a small piece of cut wood panel, and maybe put the panel into that groove and tap the other side of the little panel that you're using to straighten the edge. That way if you waste something, it'll be the scrap piece. Okay, we're even, and here we go. Make sure you get the right edge. It's the outside edge towards the middle of the room. Lift it, lift it. Lift and push. Okay. Make sure I line up on this edge. Line up there. Push. Push in. Nail it. Together after you get the mallet. So this is up, pulled in. See how it's up? Raised up. So. That's much better. I don't like that. You're gonna have those. But now we're ready to do the rest of them. Okay, now you're about to witness the most waste. Measure what you need here, which is 9¼ inches from the top. So you can always do the whole board for about 9¼ inches. 9¼ inches. All right. And your last piece. This is the last bumps. It's cut there, so that goes against the wall. And
It's gonna make wow.
Push and pull down. Now it. This, every other board, that. And basically, I'm having about 9¼ inches of those, and however many inches that was. Those. So, let's begin. So I made this tool. You see that end will go into this leading edge here. Cut on that side, cut on that side, cut on that side. So now I can put this in and pound on this side. I need to tighten up the seam, like down here. See that? Like that. So I'm going to use this to make this straight. If I mess this up, will be it. There you have it. You finished your first section of laminate floors. Pretty. Now we will lay another roll of underlayment here and stretch it around the column. And yeah, there's where we're gonna need our jigsaw around the column right there. Yes, she ships. Looking good there. Looking good there. Looking real good here. Put the phone down for a minute. Bam, done. That's tight. Tight. The baseboard will cover that. Congratulations, you're a little more than halfway done. Look at that. My cuts turned out pretty good. Last piece of plastic pushing down. Oops. Well, layman or something right there. I don't know. Down to our final boards, and we'll be finished. Beautiful. Yeah. Maybe I should do this as a part-time gig. The door frame cut as artist. I cut this piece just the opposite it looks. That was backwards. I hope this fits better. I know it's not going to. Okay, I forgot to trim a piece off the very top. This was too long. Let's see how this fits. Oops. Gotta get rid of the nails. It's perfect as possible. So take your time and get it cut just right. Oh, it's tight there. Super tight fit. Super tight fit. Too tight a fit. I gotta trim some more here. Good cuts. That was about 4 or 5 cuts. Leave a gap here for your threshold. As you see, I have to put some bushing under here. So it's not even right now. And on that note, the floors are done. What a transformation. So the baseboards put on and clean the window and blinds back on and fix the baseboard, outlet covers, reinstall the frame of the door, reinstall the door, reinstall the shelves in there, wire shelves, and reattach the closet doors. And this room is done. Okay. Well, one day's work got me this. Flooring replaced, the Murphy bed back and bolted to the wall. Nightmare, broke my back. Got it done myself. Got the bifold doors back up. The flooring is done. I do have yet to caulk floorboard and paint floorboard. Add a little more floorboard. Finish the window. Put in the dresser. Put the doors onto the Murphy bed. And we're golden. What a transformation, huh? Yep, I did this myself. How much you say? My cost? $275. And this was a whole day's worth of time. And I'm not done yet. But, oh, all the hard work's done.